Greetings, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Rotate, the game show that's always got you circling back for more. Welcome to our contestants. We've got VisionaryOne, Whoopsyou Gaming, and Awosch. A star-studded lineup for tonight. Any questions? Are you guys ready?
More than ready, brother.
Does the script say that I win? I forgot.
Awosch, do you know what happened to the last contestant that mentioned the script? I'm just
start negative,
saying.
He can definitely start negative. He can definitely start negative.
No,
if you see it around the horn, it happens. Already muted. You love to see it.
I'm just testing the mute button. That's all. Visionary, you, my friend, are up first, and your timer will begin after the question comes. Here it comes. The statement is there are still Rocket League mechanics that remain undiscovered. Visionary, your timer begins now.
There's a million Rocket League mechanics that are yet to be discovered. This is one of the most deep games that's ever been made just because it's purely physics-based engine. We already saw earlier this week, you have that wall dash that saves your dash coming up. And this whole time we thought the wall was eating our jumps. No, it was trying to give us another one. Literally just discovered. And I'm sure there's just more and more that this game can give us.
I would say I have to agree with that as well. I agree with Visionary on this one. You know, I was going to mention that as well. The tweet that got kind of sent out. People are excited to see that wave dash off of the wall. Kind of saves your flip reset, adds a more of an element to the game. It stretches out the plays longer, more opportunities for passes, and double touches off the back wall as well.
But with 6 years of this game, 6.5 years, I think, going by, and we're just now like finding more kind of variations on existing mechanics and still new mechanics. I'd say over the next another 6.5 years of this game, we're definitely going to find at least a couple more that could really be game changers.
Tri-casting. We saw it in the fall major. 3 casters at one time. It surprised us, but they didn't go it for 1 time, 2 times. They just tri-casted so much, and it was beautiful. But was it better than the standard co-casting? Whoopsyou. The statement is tri-casting is truly better than co-casting. It provides a better experience, whatever you want to call it. Whoops, your timer begins now.
I mean, I think it kind of, I probably would, I'm in the middle, but I have to kind of pick a side here. I would probably say disagree, just because of the fact that I feel like it just kind of fumbles the chat too much. You're kind of putting too many people in the mix, you know what I mean? So when you have those 2 people, you can kind of pass it back and forth more fluently.
I'm going to agree with you that tri-casting is better than duo casting, because when we have the longer series, I think having 3 voices makes it a little bit more exciting, a little bit more different as the series goes on. Long series can be pretty boring if the action is not great, so having more voices is awesome.
I would honestly say, if done properly, tri-casting is absolutely better than co-casting for the sheer effect that you get those different perspectives in game. You get a person like Turtle who's able to kind of break down a play, but you might have a Johnny Boy or a Shogun that see it a different way, and you get that discussion between the 3 of them versus the 2 of them. I think it brings a real good insight into everything as well. And then on top of that, when you're casting at LAN, you can actually point or give a kind of movement to one of the people you want to speak to, which is what we saw in RLCS for the fall major. And so when you're looking at it that way, I really think that tri-casting is definitely valuable here in this space.
That's right. We spent all that time being remote, and now that they're in the same position, they're like, okay, let's broaden the horizon here of what's possible. So that's absolutely true. Aleutian was a player for FaZe that went to a coaching role. The statement here to agree or disagree with Awosch is that Aleutian will return as a player in the RLCS. Your timer begins now.
I'm gonna say no. Despite Aleutian being an insanely high-level player and certainly deserving of being on an RLCS spot, you don't see very many players take on like a manager role or a coaching role or even a casting role like Turtle and then return to play at the highest level of the game.
I'm actually going to have to agree with the statement right there, in the sheer fact that we've already seen RollDiz go ahead and come back from coaching Sexual Sonics and coming back, and now as a player, and they're doing pretty darn well as Ghost. They got eliminated today, but it is what it is. I'm going to sit down and also tell you that Aleutian's too darn good to not be in RLCS, and he might enjoy coaching for a little bit, but that competitive drive never leaves these players, and being on the cusp of a championship like FaZe was, and to get just booted off the roster because Sypical opens, I don't think that's really fair to him as a player, and I don't think he wants his story to end that way.
That's
I don't think he wants to end his career that way. He kind of wants to be remembered as a player rather than being a coach. You know, you think about the Brett Favre syndrome. You know, I compare this to football. You know, Brett Favre never wanted to go out that way. He always wanted to go out on top. Peyton Manning the same exact way. So you have these people that kind of may take a different role here in the RLCS just to kind of remain relevant. There could be something going on in his personal life that he had to take a step back, but he still kind of wanted to help out a team or something like that. So I really believe that he will definitely return as a player.
Headed into our second category, VisionaryOne, you're leading by a couple points. How's it feel to be on top? Will it last?
It's going to last about as long as the G2 lead today. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, okay. All right. You're trying to string more points out of me, but it's not going to be that easy, VisionaryOne, okay? For this category, folks, it's called Hall of Fame. Which of the 3 of these 4 maps are in your Hall of Fame?
Easy first 2 off the rip. Champions Field number 1, Manfield being number 2. And then it's going to be a toss-up between Neo Tokyo and Beckwith Park. But I feel like as far as all the elements go in the background, sometimes could be a little bit distracting. So I might put Beckwith Park over Neo Tokyo just on that aspect alone. But I love Neo Tokyo. It's very visually appealing. I love the announcer in the background that kind of adds that element too. So I mean, Beckwith Park kind of doesn't have those distractions, and it sets up more clean, beautiful plays, and I love to see those on the replays.
For me, Neo Tokyo is definitely in my Hall of Fame. I think that map has the most character. We've got Ramen Bob and the announcer in the background. When I'm playing the game, I'm not really too focused on that, but when I look at it afterwards, I like seeing all that stuff in the background. For Champions Field, legendary, of course, because all of the best of 5, best of 7s that end on Champions Field, legendary moments there throughout RLCS history. And for Manfield, I just like the name. Anfield is obviously the home of Liverpool in the English Premier League. I like that play on words there. Beckwith Park, it's just another soccer stadium, kind of a dry name.
Rotate. All right. Yeah, well, at least we got your answer, Awosch. VisionaryOne, you'll wrap us up here. Which maps are in your Hall of Fame?
This is the easiest for me by far. It's Neo Tokyo Champions Field, and it's Manfield Knight specifically because of Johnny Boy's excellent 1v1 series. He basically made that map that has nothing around it and made it alive with his casting during that whole series. Of course, we know why everybody loves Champions Field. Neo Tokyo, one of the brighter maps, the scoreboard on the backboards. God, you gotta love the little elements of the map, right? Everybody already knows everything about Champions Field and why we love it. At the end of the day, Neo Tokyo is there. It's in the rotation. Beckwith Park, great training map. You want some training clips? Hit them in there. It's clean. It's nice. There's no crowd. You don't get the oohs and ahs in game either because there's nobody on the stands.
We looked at maps, Awosch, but what about quick chats? We have nice one. What a save. Wow. And no problem. Awosch, which 3 are in your Hall of Fame for these 4 quick chats?
For me, it's nice one, what a save, and no problem. For what a save is just absolutely iconic because obviously of great defensive plays, but because it is incredibly toxic to use in game, and I think that it's just part of Rocket League. It's just part of it. Nice one. It's super general. You can kind of apply it to anything: a save, a shot, a play, anything. It's just covers it all. No problem. It's a nice way to reaffirm your teammates that everything is going well, even if they're a bit down in the dumps.
Rotate. Okay, comforting quick chats. How about that? Awosch, he's got his beanie on. He's all about comfort tonight. VisionaryOne, what are you all about? Choose a quick chat that doesn't make it into your Hall of Fame.
For me personally, it's got to be no problem because the person that's overly apologetic in Rocket League is by far my least favorite. Like if I mess up 17 times in a match and you hit no problem every time, dude, I know you're mad, right? So I'm just going to go toxic top 3 Hall of Fame. We're going nice one, what a save, and wow.
For me personally, I think nice one doesn't make it into the Hall of Fame for me. What a save, obviously a classic, can be triggering, but also can be generally sincere. But I think overall, I feel like it's just sarcastic at that point. No matter what you're going to read, what a save is just super sarcastic. Wow, obviously staple inside the Rocket League community as well. And then no problem for me as a solo queuer, okay? I mostly solo queue in Rocket League just for some chill vibes. I really feel like no problem kind of just reassures my team. The opposite of what Awosch kind of said. We get down a goal, no problem. Don't worry about it.
These are mechanics that began at the very start of Rocket League that everyone knew. We've got power slide. We've got air roll. We've got dodge or flip, whatever you like to say. And boost. Boost. It's tough to pick one that you can't keep, but VisionaryOne, you've got to do it. Your timer begins now.
This one is also kind of simple for me, just in the sheer fact that air roll has evolved so much as far as what we've seen in professional Rocket League, as well as just regular Rocket League, right? Like, we started off everybody using free air roll, we went to air roll left and right, so just the evolution of air roll makes it deserve to be there. The dodge, in my opinion, deserves to be there as well, because you're not hitting triple flip resets without a dodge. It's just that simple, unless you're using a stall, but I got you. It's all good. And then, of course, nothing happens in Rocket League without the good boost. You can still get around not having a power slide.
This is a tough one. I think boost kind of has to go on the number one for me, because, you know, we probably aren't hitting half of these without some boost, and everybody's kind of, you know, you see how different the game kind of changes when the team doesn't have boost, and kind of when that team starts to kind of boost starve the other team, opens up so many more opportunities. So boost, obviously, number one for me. I would probably say air roll has evolved throughout the year, sets up those nice flip resets, sets up, you know, just pretty much just getting to a higher point over your defense. And then I would probably say power slide. Power slide, I would probably say it's out. Okay, dodge has to go in there as well, because it sets up those good 50-50s on the brakes.
Rotate. Did you say power slide's in or out of your top three?
Out. Power slide is out. I will put dodge over that.
You know, my hand's on the buzzer, but I'm gonna keep personal bias out of this. Whoopsyou. Awosch, I've kind of shown my cards a little bit, but you're up next. Which of these does not make your Hall of Fame?
Power slide does not make my Hall of Fame, because with any car you can drift as long.
What I want to know is which player has made the biggest impact. Not has made, who has the most potential for impact? Which transfer is the most impactful, basically. You take that as is in your response, but Awosch, I believe we're starting with you for this category. So let's get it started. Our first two transfers are Daniel and Aqua.
I actually think Aqua is going to have the biggest impact. Space Station was already a top level team, and adding Daniel is going to take him up another level for sure. But considering that Space Station was already top 5, top 6, Daniel's going to just kind of keep him in that realm. I think Aqua honestly has the potential to take their team to the next level. Maybe not quite on the same level as Daniel, but certainly a greater reinforcement over their replacement.
I'm actually going to have to agree with Awosch here. I have to say that Aqua has the most potential to make an impact, just because he's by far the best player on his team already. If you watch Rogue today, he was better than Gyro. He was better than Taroko. He was out there making plays. He was all over the pitch on both sides. Daniel's not going to have that ability, because he already has two hyper aggressive players with Reddles and with Arsenal. They love the demos. They love being up front. And Daniel's a ones main who's going to anchor that back. They're going to throw him in the cyclical role, and I'm pretty sure that's pretty much his peak.
All right, that's it. That's a hot take, so I'll give it to you, Visionary. I did dock one because you messed up my boy's name, Awosch. So, but you recovered from it. Whoops, it's to you. Give me Daniel versus Aqua.
Listen, I'm going to disagree with both of these guys. Ooh. Daniel has been the up-and-comer for years, has been on the spectrum for years. This man has pretty much the biggest amount of pressure on him to kind of do something. Going on to a solid SSG team, scored his first goal against FaZe. I'm not sure if you guys watched that or not, but they were down 3-0 against FaZe as well, and fought to come back to win that game number 1. Daniel, essentially, I just want to point this out as well. SSG is still in this. Rogue is eliminated. So who made the bigger impact? Who made their team better? Daniel.
Throwing haymakers out here is Whoopsyou. That was our first one, guys. We've got more transfers to look at. 𝑅𝑜𝑡𝑒 and 𝑎𝑡𝑜mic switching between Envy and G2. Visionary, we're going to start with you.
It's got to be 𝑎𝑡𝑜mic, right? And it's one of those things where I feel like the styles don't mesh as much, kind of like the SSG move, to where it might be a very positive impact or it might be a negative impact. Because if you watch G2 today, getting reverse swept by Shopify Rebellion was kind of a question mark, and it didn't look great, but 𝑎𝑡𝑜mic definitely has that ability to bring out all the passes. He's one of the best passers in RLCS. 𝑅𝑜𝑡𝑒 is going to be great for Envy, but I think he needs room to grow still as an RLCS player, so I don't think that impact's going to be felt immediately this season.
𝑅𝑜𝑡𝑒. Whoopsyou. What do you think? 𝑅𝑜𝑡𝑒, 𝑎𝑡𝑜mic. Give me the spiel.
I really feel like 𝑅𝑜𝑡𝑒's kind of is going to be a little bit better of a fit than 𝑎𝑡𝑜mic would be. 𝑎𝑡𝑜mic did, kind of add a little bit of element to it, but I really feel like 𝑅𝑜𝑡𝑒's kind of has that solo aspect over 𝑎𝑡𝑜mic, but they're both very comparable. If you look at their stats, it's kind of a fair trade, an even trade for both of these teams. but I really feel like kind of Dree's just a little bit better than Atomic as far as I think he could adapt well better in the team aspect than Atomic was. Atomic is a great Rocket League player, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he sets up more of a solo plays for himself rather than playing with the team more.
Interesting. Conflicting opinions here between Visionary and Whoopsyou on what role Atomic plays. Awosch, it's to you now. Atomic versus Drees.
Drees is going to make the most impact. I honestly don't think that Drees was the issue at G2. I don't think Chicago and JNABs are bringing the best out of each other. So getting rid of Drees, the hard carry last season at the end of RLCS X, huge mistake from them. Atomic will probably keep him at that same level, but they haven't performed really that well today. Envy, they kind of crashed out at the major, and it looked like it might be time for a switch. I think Drees performed very well at the major, despite overall G2 not overall playing that well. Drees could be what Envy needs to fix things up.
Beast mode versus Gimmick. Give me the deal.
I think I'm a fanboy over Gimmick, to be honest with you. I have a signed Rocket League Gimmick card right here behind my monitor. He's from Illinois, just like me, so I like Gimmick personally, but I'm actually shocked that they got rid of Gimmick off of that V1 squad. I really feel like they were very competitive, but if you look at the stats and the analytics from Gimmick versus Beast Mode, it's a good trade in favor of V1, because Beast Mode just adds so much more offense to their team as well. He's going to fare very, very well with Calm.
Gimmick will be the most impactful. We all know that Beast Mode has performed very well with Shopify over the past 6 months or so, but Gimmick has really looked like a shell of their former self, especially going back to the Cloud9 days. Him and Torment, I think the time was coming to an end, but you know, Oxygen was hanging out around that 15th, 16th spot in RLCS. They were there and thereabouts, but couldn't quite make the next push. Replacing Cryzix with Gimmick. Gimmick has looked like his former self again. He's going to be a top striker again in the RLCS very soon.
I have to agree with Whoopsyou here. Although Gimmick led Oxygen to the upper bracket, so they get 2 lives going in to tomorrow for RLCS. Yes. I still think Beast Mode at the end of the day is the bigger impact player. He's going to get mechanical space away from that team. Gimmick's always been a play upfield kind of guy, never on the ball too much. He seems to boom it downfield. I think that fits really well with LJ and Cryzix, but Beast Mode definitely fits with Calm. Those mechanical beasts and Torment holding it down in the backside, in my opinion, is going to be huge.
Gonna be honest, I couldn't agree more. And Beast Mode's been a pleasure to watch in RLCS today, versus forever, honestly. Jorby's even talked about Beast Mode being the biggest pickup. Absolutely, in this transfer window. So we'll see how that continues to go. We'll see how the game show continues to go. VisionaryOne, you're leading the pack now by more points. 4. In fact, Whoopsyou, Awosch, it's between you two guys right now, tied on up. Awosch, I'll take it to you. I mean, what are the feelings now? Last category here to try and make it to the final round. What's it going to take?
It's going to take the spiciest of takes, Pyro. I don't know what questions you have for us, but I'm pretty sure I can provide something pretty fire.
All right, what about you, Whoops?
All I have to say is I'm very disappointed with this right now because there is sheer lack of saxophone from my man Pyro J. I think we need a solo from Pyro right now, guys. Let's see some saxophones in the chat.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Someone did redeem Sax Attack, and that is where I have to stare exactly into the camera and play for as long as I can in one breath. So, without further ado. Okay, it's actually really hard to do. No, let's get controversial. We've been waiting for this, and we want to hear what the takes are from the contestants. It's time to find out. Let's take it to our first one. I'm not gonna lie, guys, these are the ones I've been excited about, so just you know, gear up, get excited. All right, VisionaryOne, you're starting. Are you good with that?
I'm fine with it, sir.
I really hope so, because it's not even a choice. Here we go. Question 1 is, oh, Shift. Do Rocket League journalism sites like Shift have an overall positive or negative impact on the community as a whole? VisionaryOne, I'm looking for you to respond to this. You have 30 seconds on the clock. It begins now.
I honestly think Shift is a huge positive impact for the community itself. Maybe not for the community of players that exist with their scrims getting called out and who they're trialing, but for us, the off season is long. It is rough. It is disastrous. We get 1 or 2 tournaments and that's it. I was lucky enough to participate in Wave Dash. That was a big one.
Yeah.
But that was basically felt like it was all we got. And so shift and these roster changes are all we have. So you take that away from us. We're sitting in the dark for 2 months. You have to keep people engaged if you want to keep them hooked on your esport. Shift does that.
Okay, very good. Whoops, you're up next. Shift, of course, the journalism site, doesn't have an overall positive or negative impact. A lot of controversy over this. Your timer begins now.
I 1000% agree with Visionary what he said. Pretty much we sit in the dark for way too long. I feel like the esports scene is just gatekept like crazy. Everybody's kind of like this secret society, and we get nothing as fans. We get nothing as casters to kind of go there and try to, you know, kind of get some research done. Shift provides that for us. I use Shift quite a bit for some research as far as just recently for some of the RLCS stuff that I've done. So I really feel like it's a good outlet for us.
And Awosch, you're gonna wrap us up. You know the question. Your time begins now.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree with both
all right.
and Visionary because,
Mr. Spicy.
like they've said,
Come on.
Shift, it keeps the discussions going on Twitter. It keeps everybody talking through the off season. It's not like RL Esports just shuts down during the off season. We have those couple tournaments, but all the discussion online, it keeps everybody together, talking, playing together, thinking about the what ifs. And it's a ton of fun.
All right. No one took the bait. I'll give you a point just for resisting, Awosch. We're on to the next question of hot takes and controversial topics. Whoops, you're gonna start this one. The question is, which casting role, casters, is more difficult to perform effectively? Is it play-by-play or color? What I mean by this is simply which is harder to do right. You know, you got color, you got play-by-play. I want to hear, and Whoops actually has even a producer background and perspective on this. I'm gonna quit talking about it. I want to hear the responses. Whoops, give me what you got.
Listen, as a play-by-play caster, a hybrid, you want to say an analytical person, as a producer, I feel like all of them are difficult to do. I really kind of want to lean more towards play-by-play because it just requires you to be on your toes the whole entire time, kind of spewing out information as you see it, and performing at the RLCS level. I tell you what, I was kind of starstruck, and I was just kind of overwhelmed that first game I kind of casted, and we were doing play-by-play with it. So I kind of want to say at the RLCS level, I feel like play-by-play is probably harder than the analytical side of things.
All right, let's send it over to Awosch. Awosch, play-by-play and color. What do you think?
I actually think that color is a little bit more difficult. We can all talk about what's happening in the game because we just kind of roll with the flow, but to be a color caster, you have to dissect the game at a fairly high level in real time, and that is not always easy to do. Coaches, they have the luxury of all the replays, all the different angles. We got probably one POV, and that's it. We've got to work with what we got.
True. We'll rotate it to Visionary. God, I have so many thoughts about this, but I am truly only the host. Visionary, you're gonna have to hit us up with your thoughts here. Your time begins now.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to agree with Awosch here and disagree with Whoops. I feel like play-by-play, you can get into a cadence, and even if it's overwhelming at first, you find your flow. But my thing with color casting is getting the wrong perspective on the play is one of the worst feelings in the world, right? Like if you're playing at this RLCS level and you dissect the play incorrectly and you're not able to call it out, that's a huge thing. And then you have chat calling you out, and it's a ton of fun dealing with them as well. So at the end of the day, I have to say that color casting is a bit more difficult just because it's more difficult to dissect how fast they play as it's going.
It's important, yeah, what your audience thinks, and it could be true that color casting is more criticized than play-by-play, although let's be honest, we all get criticized whatever we're doing. We're on to our final controversial question. Awosch, you're gonna start us off here. Let's talk about freestylers. Interesting. Okay, so the freestyling meta, and listen, this was like 2 months ago when all the controversy took down, so I don't know if the meta is new, but here's the question. Should the freestyling meta of clipping in lower lobbies be embraced by the wider community?
No, I don't think it should. It ruins the experience of newer players who are just trying to have some fun with the game, trying to get to know it, and having people doing things that they can only, like, they can't even imagine happening. That's just like super disrespectful and super, it brings the new players down.
Awosch hit the nail on the head here. If you want to make a shot truly impressive, do it on people that are your own rank. There is no need to go to casual where you have 700 MMR and go style on people that are literally trying to learn the game. He's right. You're ruining the experience for them. And if you want something to be truly impressive, do it in a game scenario. Do it when the pressure's on. Do it at 0 seconds like Justin did in the most iconic goal of RLCS history. Do it then. Don't do it on random golds who can't even aerial properly to be able to save that shot in your triple flip reset. It's mechanically impressive. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Rotate. I don't know. I took off a point because you just hated on my gold homies, Visionary. Come on, man. You see golds doing flip resets, don't you? I'm just messing. Whoopsyou.
Yeah,
It's over
totally,
to you.
bro.
Freestylers, you got 30 seconds starting now.
Listen, as the best Wood 3 on this panel right here, I would say that I absolutely hate it when I get people in my lobby that are smurfing. Smurfing sucks. It should not be in Rocket League, but it's a thing, and it's just dumb. I can't stand it. And like people will say, it's like trick shotting back in the day for Call of Duty. If it's fake, it's not as impressive. Go into a regular game, do it. And by regular game, I mean don't type in chat, hey, you want to freestyle? No, I'm talking about straight up head-to-head clash. If you hit that on me, kudos to you.
I gotta give that last point to him, Whoopsie. That's a good response despite everyone giving their answers. Folks, that's the end of the 4 categories, and we have a tie. We have a tie for second place. Whoopsyou and Awosch, you are tied. VisionaryOne, congratulations. You're on to the final round. You can chill out, man. You can chill. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, brother.
Whoopsyou and Awosch, this is the way that the final round works, and you guys are only going to do it one time. The way it works is I'm going to give you a category, okay? I'm going to give you very simply a category. It could be, we did Rocket League maps last time, okay? And, you know, back and forth, one goes after the other, naming a Rocket League map. Once someone can't think of another, you're out. You're out. You're done. Donezo. The category is Rumble items. Rumble items, Rumble power-ups is the category. Awosch, your 5-second timer begins now.
Spikes.
Yes.
Freeze.
Yes.
Boxing glove.
Magnet.
Hold on. Try again.
Who?
You, Awosch. Not the right name.
Das Boot.
Yes.
I said magnet.
Let me see.
The switcheroo.
Yep. Close. Try again. 3.
Warp. I don't know what it's called.
2. Try again. 1.
Swap.
0. Oh, I'll give that to you. It's Swapper. Yep. Next.
Okay.
Whoops.
Tornado.
Yep. Awosch.
Bow and arrow.
No. Try again.
Arrow.
3.
Grappling hook.
2. Yes. Whoopsyou.
Is it power glove? Is that what it's called?
No. Close.
I can't remember this one. It's
3.
power fist.
Close. 2. 1.
I don't know.
0. Whoopsyou. I'm sorry. That was amazing. The answer was power hitter. Incredibly close, but power glove, power. Nah, it was just Hey, watch, you got
Nintendo.
But you guys got much farther under pressure than I expected literally anyone to get. Whoopsyou, sadly, someone has to go before we get to the final round, and it is indeed you. Without further ado, do the contestants have their instructions? Are they ready? And are we ready to determine a winner? Visionary, you good?
I'm good.
And Awosch, how about you?
We're good.
Beautiful. Well, this first one is it's definitely interesting. I'm curious to see your knowledge on this category. VisionaryOne, we are going to start with you for this one. Remember, 5-second timer. I'll remind you at 3, 2, 1. If your answer is just so far off, or you can't finish in time, you will not earn the point. Visionary, here we go. Your category is hit boxes. Category is hit boxes. Visionary, your timer is going to begin now.
Octane.
Yep.
Plank.
What'd you say?
Plank.
Yep.
Dominus.
Mm-hmm.
Batmobile.
Try again. 3.
Merc.
Yes. Visionary.
Breakout.
Yes. 3,
Arab.
2, 1. It's gonna be Visionary. It's gonna be Visionary. Oh, Awosch, you're not gonna forgive yourself. Hybrid was the last hitbox that you could not think of. Honestly, Visionary, what did you say? Who said? Oh, Awosch, you said Scarab there at the end. That was.
Wasn't sure.
Honestly, what is the Scarab hitbox?
Octane. It's an Octane hitbox.
Wow.
It's 42 feet out in front of the corners of the Scarab, but it is an Octane hitbox. So I don't know why, but that's it.
Well, he doesn't just have the hitbox knowledge. He's got every dimension of the Octane or Scarab hitbox. VisionaryOne, you've won that point, and we're heading on to our potentially last one, Awosch. You got to win this to somehow still be in the running.
Yeah, the pressure's on now.
Well, folks, each of you, dabbled in the RLCS space, so it's time to put that knowledge to the test. The category, Awosch, you're going to start us off is the Winter Regional 1 main event team names. Yes, the team names. All 16 of them. Can you name them? Awosch, we'll start with you.
NRG.
Good.
Oxygen.
Or general NRG.
Yeah.
Visionary?
Oxygen Esports.
Yes.
G2 Esports.
Yes.
Vibrance.
Yes.
Space Station Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Team Envy.
Mm-hmm.
Version 1.
Yes.
Rogue.
Yes.
RBG Esports.
Yes.
Shopify Rebellion.
Yes. 3.
Ghost Gaming.
2. Yeah.
Susquehanna Sonics.
Yes.
Rogue.
Incorrect. Awosch. VisionaryOne already had said Rogue. That is the final one. Awosch, you made it easier on me, but not on yourself. Congratulations, VisionaryOne. You are our official episode 2 Rotate Game Show winner. As we wrap up tonight, thank you everybody for being here. This was episode 2 of Rotate the Game Show. It's always got you circling back for more. Tune into my Twitter to see all and any updates on the game show, including episode 3 that may be coming soon. For all you that stuck around, for all you that tuned in, thank you so much. I'll be back with some IGL casting very soon. Thank you.